Glasner reportedly wants the head coach role at Manchester United. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around this man right here, the current head coach of Crystal Palace, known as Oliver Glasner. Well, the stories in recent days have been snowballing and gathering momentum that allegedly and reportedly he is very much open to jumping ship to Manchester United to fill the soon to potentially be vacant head coach position at Old Trafford. Of course, that position is currently being held by a certain Ruben Amorim, but that position is looking very, very insecure. And obviously with an international break looming on the horizon, tomorrow's game against Sunderland could be the defining moment as to whether or not Amorim keeps his job, at least for the near future, or whether or not he will not be returning in the dugout at Old Trafford as the Manchester United head coach after the international break, when club football, of course, resumes. We're going to be talking all about this big story at hand here, but before we go any further in doing that, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. I also encourage you all to get involved in the comment section down below. Use and abuse that section, people. Talk to me on this big topic at hand here. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling about the current position with Ruben Amorim at Manchester United, and whether or not you'd be happy, or whether or not it would be a good move overall for Oliver Glasner, should, of course, he be chosen to succeed Amorim, if, of course, what we are sort of anticipating at any moment could happen, Amorim does get the sack. Sound good? Great. Now let's get on with the conversation at hand ourselves, shall we? Let's talk Glasner, Amorim, Manchester United, and everything else in between those things. Right. So the story goes is that over the course of the past couple of games, these are the games that have been talked about as being the defining moments in Ruben Amorim's Man United career. The game against Chelsea was a big win. Big win. Then they went and flopped against Brentford. Horrific defeat to Brentford. And now tomorrow they have Sunderland, which is a massive game, especially considering that Sunderland, the Premier League new boys, have actually started off the season really, really well. Man United could be in a lot of danger tomorrow, and Ruben Amorim especially could be in a lot of danger if the result does not go his way. The story is that those three games in particular were going to shape whether or not United decided to stick with him, or whether they were going to look elsewhere for a brand new head coach and go in a different direction. Tomorrow could be make or break. Sunderland could be about to hit the final nail in the Ruben Amorim coffin, and if that is to be the case, the international break is probably a very opportunistic moment for United to announce the sacking, announce a new manager, go in a different direction, as international breaks tend to obviously throw in that kind of scenario. We only have to look back at the last international break at what Nottingham Forest did, with getting rid of Nuno Espirito Santo and bringing in Ange Postecoglou, and, well, look how poorly that's turned out so far. This could be another story like that going forward into this international break in October. But is Oliver Glasner the right choice for the role? He is emerging as a potential front runner for the job. There is a lot of speculation surrounding his future. The latest reports are suggesting that he has turned down the latest contract offer at Crystal Palace, as his current deal is set to expire at the end of the season. He is looking to maybe move on elsewhere, using Crystal Palace as a stepping stone, and Manchester United's potentially soon to be vacant head coach position is seemingly and reportedly intriguing him, and of course the mainstream media are running with that as a story. Is he the right man for the role? Look, he is very adaptable, he is very knowledgeable, and he has done a fantastic job wherever he's been. He's won the Europa League with Frankfurt, he's obviously won the FA Cup and Community Shield with Crystal Palace in incredible fashion. He has built Crystal Palace up to being a very difficult side to beat, break down, and just an awkward side in general. They are a very, very good side, and you have to imagine that if they manage to keep a couple more of their bigger name players, like the likes of Eze, for example, maybe they could have actually been a lot further along than what they currently are right now, which is a big testament to what job he has done at Crystal Palace since taking over. He has been nothing short of fantastic. He's obviously managed to retain the services of Mark Gahey, even though reportedly he wasn't exactly happy with his move to Liverpool on deadline day breaking down, but he's seemingly moved on, professional as ever, and he's obviously retained them services. Now, we all knew that the story goes is that Glasner put his foot down. The Crystal Palace board decided to agree with the manager and go with the manager's decision on this, even though it would mean that they ran a heavy risk of losing him on a free transfer next summer, and that seems to be the case. And I remember saying at the time that whilst I can understand the decision on the club's part and on Glasner's part, I do think it is short-term sightedness, because of obviously they are going to lose him on a free transfer. That's very, very likely to happen. And not only that as well, but Glasner probably won't be re-signing a new deal and could obviously jump ship at any moment. And this seems to be what is potentially about to happen. He's about to potentially jump ship should the managerial position at Manchester United become available. And of course, should United decide to go with him, which a lot of sources are running with, as that may potentially happen. But there's no doubt about it. He's adaptable, he's flexible. We've seen the way that he's changed his kind of strategy and philosophy a little bit, to modify it a little bit, from going from the Bundesliga club Frankfurt to the Premier League club in Crystal Palace. We know that the success that he is building up as a relatively young manager, he has done really, really well. The problem is, it's Manchester United, and seemingly everything that club touches right now turns to crap. Like, to put it bluntly, it seemingly does. Look, is there a world in which maybe Glasner goes there and things turn around brilliantly? Maybe initially, because I did think that Amorim would be the guy to turn things around, or to help at least lay the foundations to turn things around. And that obviously hasn't happened right now so far. So I don't know what to expect from this one. It does seem on paper like it is a smart choice. It is the right choice. Glasner's a very good manager, probably one of the best out there that is obtainable, and that is a smart, intelligent choice. But I'm not entirely convinced that he is going to be able to go there and get the time, mainly the time that is needed to turn things around. Are the Man United fans going to have the patience? Are the board going to have the patience? Because the thing I've always said about Amorim is he's not got a magic wand to instantly turn around over 10 years of neglect and rot at a football club from top to bottom that is deeply ingrained in that football club right now. And yet, just under a year into his tenure at Manchester United, he's already being forced pretty much out the door by a lot of fans. Yes, he hasn't helped himself. I'm not saying that Amorim is completely blameless in what is happening at Manchester United right now, but I don't necessarily think Glasner will get that luxury. Don't get me wrong, I think the club is better set up towards a Glasner than an Amorim, and that might produce some good results and maybe a few good performances for the initial future, for the short-term future. But long-term, is it going to be sustainable? Is it going to provide long-term success that this Man United board and the Man United fans are going to be hoping for and crying out for? I don't necessarily think it would. I think it would be a smart choice to bring in Glasner, but at the same time, I genuinely don't know anymore, because, you know, we saw it under David Moyes. They hounded him out pretty quickly. We saw it with Louis van Gaal. There was a bit of success there, but the fans didn't like the way that he was playing his football. Glasner's football is not exactly going to be much different. He is very much happy and very much open to allowing the opposition to have as much of the ball as possible, but it's what you do when you have that possession that counts more. And that will be effective, but will the Man United fans get on board with that idea? I'm not 100% sure. Mourinho, again, brought success, but the fans weren't happy with the football. Solskjaer, again, it died down towards the end. The football wasn't great either. And of course, Ten Hag. Success in both seasons, but you could tell that the performances were dwindling, and you could tell that any longer and they would have fallen away even more so. Maybe it's a similar situation with Amorim in terms of performances are continuing to not be great, falling away continuously, and maybe it is time for a change, and maybe Glasner is the right call. Look, I think with the players that he will inherit at that club if he does go, I think he can definitely work with them. I think he can definitely improve them. The likes of Brian and Buemo, the likes of Mateus Cunha, Benjamin Sesko especially, I think is someone that he could really mould into being an influential role in that team. Maybe not the most prolific, but definitely an influential and key component in that team. And I also think as well, it could mean maybe a revival, a resurrection of sorts of the likes of Kobbie Mainoo. I think Kobbie Mainoo especially would definitely benefit from having someone like Oliver Glasner in that club rather than someone like Ruben Amorim who doesn't quite rate him. So I think there is a lot there for these United players to potentially get excited about with Ruben Amorim, but at the same with Oliver Glasner. But at the same time, I don't know if that would spell long-term success. I really, really don't. I really don't know. Because, like I say, everything this club touches seemingly turns to crap. And that may be putting it bluntly, but I'm afraid that is somewhat the case. I think it's a smart move. I think it's an intelligent move. But is that just for the immediate future rather than long-term? I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. But one way or another, we'll know soon what is going to be happening at Manchester United. Like I say, they take on Sunderland tomorrow at home at Old Trafford. Massive game for United. Massive, massive game for United. And like I say, if the result isn't a positive one for the Red Devils, it could spell the end of the head coach tenure of Ruben Amorim. That's all I had to say on this matter. I want to know what you guys are thinking and feeling. Let me know what you guys' thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings are down below in that comment section. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way up and enjoy the video. Subscribe if you are new and want to see more content like this. Both things will always and very greatly appreciated. And of course, as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. And I will see you speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll speak to you all again very, very soon.